Hello, beautiful beings. It has been a minute and a half since I've done a tarot reading for you. But as I've said before on my channel, I really only do readings when I feel called to and I can feel my soul is pulling me to the side again. So here I am, and I'm super excited to be back, especially because we're going to be doing a unicorn reading today. And I feel a very special affinity to unicorns. 5 years ago, I would have never admitted that because I would have thought it so lame and ooh, and like, look at the collective, like all into unicorns. But I have to be honest, my inner child is really drawn to the unicorn, and I have a special unicorn here in my space with me as well. And it was interesting that I discovered today, actually, while I was doing a little bit more research on unicorns, that in terms of Celtic astrology, it's actually the animal associated with anyone born between July 8th and August 4th. And my birthday is on August the 4th. So totally probably why I'm also drawn to unicorns. But either way, unicorn is a spirit animal, and it does have special meaning, just like any other spirit animal would. And when we are drawn to the unicorn, it's because our soul is calling us, which is interesting because I literally spoke about my soul bringing me back here to the Priestess Sophia. And it's also about aligning with your purpose and your soul purpose and your soul expansion. Unicorn medicine is also about getting us back to our childlike faith. I mean, just listen to which words resonate for you now, because there's a reason for that. It's also about healing. It's really about sovereignty. So that's following your own truth. It's about believing in the magic and the mystery of the world and not just getting stuck in the humdrum of things. It's about reminding us about our freedom. It's also really about purity of spirit and innocence as well. Innocence being sometimes not that obvious in the sense where you were right or wrong, but innocence in that we are not necessarily here to do harm deliberately, maliciously, with intent. So it's about remembering those aspects of yourself. For those of you who are into sacred union, which you certainly are, if you've seen all my other picker cards, the unicorn also points to that. So if that medicine, those words are resonating with you, then you're definitely in the right place. Do remember, you're on the Priestess Sophia. We're all about you listening to your intuition, you listening to your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, and understanding that your intuition is actually there to teach you something and teach you about life and teach you about yourself, and the beautiful, wondrous lessons that your soul has also come to explore and understand, but with joy, not always like in the school kind of attitude, because a lot of people can get stuck into that. So we've got 4 different piles here today. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to pick your pile according to the unicorn that comes up, right? And how we're going to do that is, I want you to please ground first. So I'm asking you to do that. I'm inviting you to do that. I'm not commanding you. So take a deep breath in into your heart center. So this is this space just on your breastbone, so your chest, so your upper part of your chest, underneath your sternum, and just put your hand on your heart center and take a deep breath into that space, and then exhale, and another deep breath in, and then exhale. And one more time, deep breath in, and then exhale. And now when you choose your unicorn, choose the one that you're drawn to from that heart space. So this is pile 1. A lovely, pretty, resting unicorn with some flowers there. This is pile 2. pile 3. And pile 4. Very colorful unicorn. Also with flowers. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to please pick one of these piles. I've got articles for you. We're going to work with the tarot, and there are channeled messages that I channeled and then placed randomly in each one of these piles. So we'll be looking at that too. And important to know, in this reading, we're not looking at a specific aspect of life. We're looking at what you most need to know right now, and then it will, through the reading, reveal itself which aspect it's focusing on a little bit more. All right, beautiful beings, I'm looking forward to seeing you in your reading. Hello, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful soft unicorn over here, in pink with some blue in her hair and the flowers. There's something here about you, opening up yourself a lot more in creative expression, but also like in, yes, creative expression. There's something here very, very powerful about that coming through, and finding joy in that and doing it for the joy of it and for the love of it. Because even if we just look at these flowers over here, these flowers look like kind of like pink roses to me, like pink roses in full blossom. So I'm getting the sense that there's a deep sense of self-love in this group, because we're seeing all this pink in this unicorn. So there's been a lot of work that you've done, particularly on yourself, in how you connect to yourself, in discovering yourself. And if you're not fully there yet, you're definitely on this path. And a big part of where you're going is to find that sense of love that is always flowing from within you. And that is going to be your fuel, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship. And there's this deep sense of self-fulfillment and fulfillment in life and in love and with life and love that is just emanating from you. And because you have found this deeper sense of love in yourself, you are really bringing that up in others, and may also be highlighting for others where they need to love themselves more deeply and believe in themselves more deeply, and allowing that expression from people to come up. And for yourself, this is where I'm getting is your best place to put your energy, is in that expression of self-love, to do things that align with something that feels loving for you, and love towards yourself. You are at the right time in your life to take on whatever kind of project or special hobby or goal or even relationship with someone that you want to bring forth for yourself. I feel like that's what this unicorn is trying to say. You're in bloom. You're in a glow up phase. You're blossoming. And if you're not there yet, you're definitely going to move into that space. If it doesn't feel like this is resonating for you, then please do, okay, so this is your channel message, then please do pick another pile. You don't have to make something stick if it doesn't stick. Okay, I'm going to take your articles out of the way, and we're going to look at that last. And let's see what the tarot wants to bring up. Ooh, okay, so that was 5 of Wands, but I'm not going to look at that just yet. I don't feel like, ooh, jumping out. Okay, you got jumping out cards. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we're just going to go with that because these cards are going crazy. We've got the Emperor. We've got the Knight of Wands. Okay, so this, we're going to look at our higher lessons for you at the moment. And then what's actually happening in the physical reality for you, we're going to put underneath that. Okay. Because those really just wanted to come up. Okay. Okay, so I do feel that I'm getting about 90% of you. As much as we're talking a lot about self-love here, this does involve a significant other, and it does involve actually your relationship specifically to masculine energy, and it is involving a gentleman. So this does feel like it is involving someone who identifies with masculine energy. That's why I'm saying gentleman, and someone who is quite a fiery personality, because I'm seeing that you're with Knight of Wands. Can be a bit hot and cold, a little bit scattered. When this person is around, it's a lot of fiery energy, very passionate. This person and you may actually have a very passionate connection yourselves. And you really enjoy that aspect of the relationship with this person. But this person is not grounded. That's why we say scattered, right? This person also likes to travel, has to be on the move all the time, is on the move the whole time, and they really struggle to to stick to projects, to be committed to projects. And this is being highlighted because we've got the Emperor here, and we've also got the Eight of Pentacles that's coming up. So this reading is relating to a relationship with that person, okay? I do feel for you that you have a tendency, so what's happening in your physical reality, because this we're looking at higher lessons, so soul lessons, the soul energy that wants to come through, and yet at the bottom we're looking at what's actually happening in your life. I feel that because we have the Nine of Wands here, there's a tendency for you to still be kind of stuck in the past. You can see how this person is basically like looking back to the past, or looking to what has happened, and has a really defensive stance about them. So there's a tendency from your side to choose relationships that put you on guard, that actually test your boundaries. And I'm seeing this also with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords, she's incredibly boundaried. She's got high standards. She knows what she wants. But there's still a tendency, and it's flowing out of your energy, but a lot of your relationships in the past have been really focused on you doing that, and you trying to make something work that you actually know according to your boundaries and your standards and what you're choosing for your life, because we've got the Emperor and the Queen of Swords establishing that energy, and what you know to be true for you really coming through with the Justice energy over here. That you have a tendency to still choose these relationships where you're working harder than you need to. And when I'm saying working harder than you need to, that you're actually taking a lot of your masculine energy. So energy that's for goal setting, action taking, for getting things done, for moving things in the world, and leading things and directing things. All of that energy is often being directed into your relationships. And what I'm seeing is happening is that you're starting to actually realize that there's a recognition specifically around this person that you've been involved with. They may have a little bit of like controlling kind of tendencies, but then that doesn't make sense to you, because you're sort of like, but you're so scattered, you're not even following your own rules. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That through seeing this and witnessing this experience with this person, what it's highlighted in you is the need for greater clarity around what you want for yourself, for the vision. So you to be decisive about the vision for your life and the vision for your relationships and where things are going in your life. So what Spirit is basically saying, if you're not doing this yet, whoever you're dating right now, so to put it into plain language, this person is coming to show you where your standards are, what your values are, what you need to be choosing for yourself. So it's about you being clear about that. So we've got Justice coming in here. This person might, for some of you, had some sort of player energy. So if you're concerned about whether they're going to get what they did, like get the just deserve, they will, but so will you. So I'm not saying that to be controversial, but in the way that it is this justice often comes in when there are karmic lessons. You see, we've got the balancing scales here. So there's needing to understand decision making and how you're making your decisions and what is the result of that. So we've got a lot of sword, like these two swords right here with the Queen of Swords and Justice. So there's a lot of needing to focus a little bit more on mental clarity, you getting clear in your mind about what matters to you, you getting clear in your mind about the story that you're telling yourself, you getting clear in your mind about what kind of story you want to tell yourself. What do you want to be experiencing? Because ultimately, the higher lesson here, we've got the Emperor. So the Emperor is all about being able to lead your life. So remember, we started off talking about a lot about self-love and in bloom and really connecting deeper with the self. So very strong energies here around you being able to choose and lead your life in a higher direction is going to come from you stepping more into that loving energy and making decisions. See how we've got, he's holding his scepter here. She's holding the sword. The queen here is also holding her sword. It's really about harnessing this feminine energy, because both of these are women here, feminine archetypes, who are using their understanding of themselves and what it is that they want, because there may be a fear for you in your feminine aspect, so within your own feminine energy, to be decisive, to be assertive. Maybe you've been told you're too much, you're asking for too much, you don't be so difficult, why must you be so direct? It's just when you speak, it's a lot. So this is for you to get clear that that's conditioning. So there's narratives that people have been told and really align with a lot of the time in feminine energy, thinking that femininity is not about being assertive and not about owning your space, and that's all masculine energy, which I don't agree with at all. But it's really understanding your power as feminine, and that there is intelligence in that you need to harness more of. Okay? And I feel in this relationship with this person, it's highlighting that for you. It's also pushing you to not be afraid of your relationship to masculine energy in terms of how you're deciding what you want for your life, how you lead in your life, and then also what is a healthy partner. This group, you got to get, it's really, because we've got the Queen of Swords, it's deciding what makes a healthy partner. How do you decide what makes a healthy partner? I keep saying that because that's a question I think you've got to put down in your journal and write about that, because it's not going to be the same thing for everyone. Remember, the Queen of Swords, she's deciding for herself. She knows herself. She's holding this sword of truth because she knows herself. What I need, what Tara needs, is not the same thing that you need. So I know I need someone who understands themselves and knows themselves. What do you need? Do you need someone who has a great sense of humor? Because that's going to help you more, and you need someone who gets your sense of humor. Or do you need someone who really enjoys exploring outdoors? Some people hate that, because you're an outdoorsy person and you need someone who is supportive of that. I need someone who's done a lot of spiritual work, because I have, and I don't want to be teaching my partner. We can teach one another, but I don't want to be your therapist. So you've got to decide for yourself what it is that you need, what makes a healthy partner. So there's a lot coming here with decision making. Okay, so let's get to this Eight of Pentacles and what I feel is happening on a higher level. This reading is going very deep. Is that I feel this group very strongly are people who either have some sort of, I mentioned some sort of side project or something earlier. A lot of you either do have a side hobby, want to start a side business, or own your own business, or are entrepreneurs yourself. And what I'm seeing here is very creative person. I feel like you've maybe doubted your creativity, and because we're working a lot with trusting your feminine energy, I feel like we're also looking at sacral chakra energy here, and how you work with your sacral chakra, which has a lot to do with feminine energy, but also your energy in relationships, but also your creativity. So Spirit is saying here, don't be afraid to learn a new skill. And what I feel on a higher soul level, which is going to play out for you quite consistently, is being able to understand, how do I lead my life? You are always going to be asked to look to you more than to the guidance of other people. Whoever has picked this pile, your journey, you're probably life path ones, you're probably manifestors, manifestor generators. A big part of your path is understanding leadership and leadership of the self. And I feel your biggest soul expansion will come through you utilizing your skills and building your creative skills. Your creativity is going to teach you higher soul lessons. So it's going to come through you being able to explore and be a lot more playful with your creative energy, because there's something I feel that the universe wants to teach you really strongly about manifestation, and you working with your creative energy in a decisive manner, but also being able to understand it in terms of persistence, focus, applying your skills, trusting your skills, grounding your skills. So you might have psychic ability, but what are you doing with that? Are you practicing it, or is it just some concept that is existing within your mind? Are you an artist? Do you paint really well? Are you going to art classes? Are you practicing painting? Because all of us, we have skills, but to become real masters, and in order to lead ourselves in that space, we've got to learn how to master that. So there's a big thing around self-mastery here. And I feel that's a strong overarching theme. And what the unicorn is trying to bring in for you is the love for yourself around doing that. And the more that you can approach this with love for the self, the more you are going to learn how to master your own energy, make decisions, work on your business, your hobby in a way that's going to allow you to be joyful, creative, and play with that energy more, instead of, sorry, pile one, I got interrupted there. So instead of your creative work always being work, what I'm also seeing further to this is, because we've got this balance justice card over here, so there's something around your nervous system also feeling quite riled up. So there's an energetic shift that is going on within your body itself and within your reality. And sometimes when that happens, it can make you a little bit tired, because there is some sort of upgrade that's going on. I don't just feel in terms of your physical reality, like we've got you with 8 of Pentacles, but also within the body, because I am seeing root chakra energy being pointed to here with the red cloak that I'm seeing that's being pointed to twice. So there is something that's happening, an energetic shift in the body as well. So there needs to be a deeper joy with your creativity, and that relationship needs to be changed. But also looking at, are you giving yourself the opportunity to integrate what you've learned in this experience within your body, feeling that self-love in the body, feeling that new experience in the body? Because whatever you bring into your reality, whether relationship-wise or even in terms of your own joyful expression in your work, that needs to be felt within you, because you are that vehicle first. And that's what they actually mean, like, how are you treating yourself in terms of the things that you want to create? This is why that self-love message came through so importantly, is to let this come from a place of love for yourself, not to get something, from a balanced place, from an understanding of the self, from an acceptance of the self, from an integration of understanding of the self. Okay, so let's look at your oracle cards. Here we've got it. Deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. So we've got beautiful water there. We're seeing her being more in like sort of like nighttime energy. And as you can see, it's gotten a little bit darker with the light around me. So there's something around allowing yourself to process in physical reality what's happened in terms of your past relationships. Maybe also specifically with this person that's coming to mind right now, because this person is helping you with higher level lessons, not only in terms of your creativity as a person, but also how you manage your energy in terms of what you're giving in relationships. And also, because we spoke a lot about masculine energy before, where's that masculine energy being used? Is it being used to help your goals, or are you leading everything in relationships? Because there does need to be balance. There needs to be an equal give and take. It can be expressed in different ways, but there still does need to be reciprocity. And I feel to help you understand and balance this energy, there is need for you to go a little bit more into the intelligence of your feminine, which is coming through in understanding that which can't always be seen and heard, but is felt. This is why I'm seeing and getting the sense of the water, being with the night, right? The only way we get to the next day is by going through the nighttime. So we have to go through those periods of nighttime, through periods of dark. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Isn't this so gorgeous? Look how these two energies are working with one another. We've got a brighter light coming through here with a massive earth moon vibe. And then we've got the moon in the back. So that's integration, and that shift that I spoke about is not just happening in terms of your relationships. And I feel like this person that's come to mind for you here is helping you move from that space. Is those relationships with men who don't give enough, or people who don't give enough, that's in the past. You are now inviting and calling in a different experience. But the understanding really has to come, because look, each time she's by herself, it's got to come from a place of self-love and you accepting and integrating both your feminine and your masculine energy, meaning also giving yourself that rest, being with the self, being with your feelings. Your feelings unlock a lot of understanding for you. And because we're human and we want to feel love on an emotional level, it's very important for you, pile one, to connect emotionally with yourself, because that's going to help you unlock deeper love for yourself. Okay, so your yoga pose that's recommended, and you might want to take a screenshot here, is the fish or supported fish. It looks kind of like this. You can take another screenshot. And the affirmation that comes with that is, I am floating in a sea of serenity. Really beautiful imagery around the sea, water here on both sides. You might have a special relationship with water. So there's a lot coming through with water, messages around water. So Spirit may be calling you to work a little bit more with water. That may be looking at what is your water intake like? Because if there's an energetic shift happening, we often need to look at our water intake, make sure that we're allowing that new energy to come into our body and being supported by how much water we're drinking. Are you getting enough electrolytes, right? Are you allowing yourself to go and swim in natural bodies of water? Taking salt baths might help you a lot. Okay, here we've got our final card, which is the Three of Swords. And in this deck, it's called Sadness and Isolation. Again, we've got this imagery of moving from a darker space to a lighter space. But they're there, right? So in order for you to bring in this new reality, this new experience, because I think you are doing that, I feel like you're already here, there had to be a lot of this understanding of the self. But what I feel is coming through very strongly with Spirit right now is to remember, and I mentioned day and night, that there's always going to be these periods where there needs to be some sort of rest. There needs to be some sort of coming back to the dark. And that doesn't mean that you go into a negative space. But you see how this person is kind of cold up here, but that you just come inward, that you allow yourself to hibernate, that you allow yourself to withdraw a little, because this is very important again around energy management. So I feel energy management is really important for this group. I do also want to point out we've got blue here, and this is our throat chakra here too. And I started singing when I did this reading. So you really are at the time where you are being invited to confidently express who you are. Spirit wants you to come out there. Your guides want you to come out there and be more of who you are. You have the skills. You have this Emperor energy. The more you are going to understand that you've got to make the decisions here, you've got to harness this creativity, you've got to go for it, explore your passions, because that's what's going to lead you to the type of relationship you want. You got to own that creative spark. You got to own that leadership within you. It's going to lead you to the right type of relationship, and it's going to actually benefit whatever side project or business that you are exploring and running at the moment. Okay, so let's look at your channeled message. So I wrote these channeled messages a few hours ago. I don't remember what they were, and then I just randomly picked them with each pile. So and put them with each pile. Let's see what yours is. Yay! You have arrived. Haha, we're just talking about that, right? You are exactly where you need to be, and we have been patiently waiting for you to recognize your gifts. So I feel this is coming from your guides. You have only just begun, though, and we mean regarding you uncovering the depths of your talents. Isn't this beautiful with the water here? You've only just touched the surface. There's so much in this water. There's so much for you to just discover even about yourself and what you can give. And water is really nourishing, right? We cannot survive without water. So there's something there about what you have to give is nourishing for other people, whether in relationships or in terms of what you're exploring in terms of your business. This is a gift you have to acknowledge. People need nourishment. So there's nothing wrong with you owning that as a gift. Okay, so you've only just begun though, and we mean regarding you uncovering the depths of your talents. So continue down this path. You have much more to give and so much more to grow and light to shine. Wow, beautiful pile one. What an amazing reading. Please let me know in the comment section how this resonated for you. I would love to know, because there were a lot of messages that came through, and I think I could have done a full hour reading on this. If you would like a personal reading with me, do check out the description box, because I am doing those. I do only take limited numbers because I'm teaching energy healing and psychic development and doing healing and other psychic readings and mediumship as well. I'm so excited about that. But I've loved reading for you. And if you like this reading, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye. Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to pile 2. This is your pile if you chose this pretty beautiful unicorn over here, this unicorn that's moving. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at what you most need to know right now, and it could pertain to a specific relationship or your career or just your something connected to yourself or other aspects of your life. So we'll see what comes up. So pile 2, I have articles for you and a channeled message that I wrote earlier and then randomly chose out of a group for this pile specifically. So let's see what comes up. So when I'm looking at your unicorn, interestingly enough, the first thing I hear is running. So there's some sort of abandonment wound was the first thing that came up for me around this, and someone is in a flight response at the moment, and being in this flight response is actually allowing you to understand understand yourself a little bit better. So I don't know if it's necessarily you that's in some sort of trauma response. It could be someone that's around you that's sort of escaped the situation. I feel like you may have brought up a significant thing that needs to be discussed, and I'm feeling that this person didn't like it, and kind of like, not because there's anything wrong with you, but it triggered or touched on them, and they've kind of like just like went zing. And I do actually, so they went running. So it does feel like a trauma response from this person, but it's leading you in another direction. So it just feels like two people separating. That's just really what I'm getting a strong sense of. So there is some sort of relationship aspect here. But the reason this is happening, I feel, you see all these colors coming, like painted colors. I feel like there's parts of yourself that you are not fully integrating and are kind of like escaping within yourself and escaping through also this connection that is coming up for you around this. Okay, so this is your channeled message. We'll get to that. And then we're going to get to your oracles later. So I'm just going to look at your tarot first and we're going to see what comes up. Okay, pile 2. Let's see what we're going to choose 3 cards on top for like higher lessons, so soul kind of lessons. So what's going on in the spiritual realm, and then 3 cards for what's below, what's happening in your life. So I'm going to go with this. Okay, soul, the sun, 2 of swords, excuse me, and 2 of pentacles. So see, I wanted to say 2 of pentacles, and there he is. Okay, and then we've got, so you see how I spoke about these 2 aspects, 2 people, and 2 people also being you, and here we've got 2 and 2, and definitely a relationship issue because we've got 2, 2, so 2 is the number of, and the sun is also 19, so the next number to that is 2. So there's a close in the cycle of how you manage relationships here, and this is definitely looking at relationship dynamics. Okay, there we've got a 10. Interesting, lots of angel numbers here, because we've got 1, 9 here, so that makes a 10, that makes a 1, and here we've got a 10 which makes a 1. So 11 might be a number for you because with the Roman numerals as well, we've got 11 essentially, 2, 2. So there might also, we always have a twin flame pile, and I really have, I don't share the perspective that your twin flame is who you're supposed to end up with. I do feel that your twin flame can also is just meant to be, to guide you more towards yourself and you completely understanding and knowing yourself. I feel that is what the twin flame journey is more about, but we're not going to go into that right now. But this is definitely for anyone who's really identifying with that journey. You do not have to share the same beliefs that I do, but definitely a strong soulmate connection that's coming up here, because so there's a definite soul connection. Let me not call it a soulmate. Let me be specific with my words. There's a soul connection between you and this person. We've got the world, the wheel of fortune, the sun. So the world is giving me this idea that this is a cosmic divine connection that we're dealing with. And wheel of fortune is definitely telling me that, again, the same kind of thing. It's definitely fated, this interaction between you and this person. And I do feel that you do definitely mirror one another, because we do have these 2 2s, and I said 11 as well. So there's definite mirroring going on in the connection that we're dealing with right now. And even if you don't identify with the term twin flame, whatever is going on here, I feel that this person on a physical level is mirroring something within you that you are running away from on a spiritual kind of level, or avoiding on a spiritual level. And I also say that because we very clearly have Two of Swords here, which is about denial, complexity, needing to kind of go deeper into the situation. And we've got the imagery of water there, needing to explore maybe deeper in within the subconscious. So it seems like someone may have moved. There's some sort of, on the physical level, there's some sort of issue around the family and a move, definitely moving, travel and big travel. So either this person has gone to another state, another province, another county, whatever you call it in the country that you're from, or they may have even gone overseas, and there's been a massive decision around moving house or moving family or moving somewhere. And this, I feel, is definitely causing some sort of upset. We've even got this running thing here. So there's definitely a decision to travel, a decision to leave, a decision to move. And this decision is definitely causing some shift in the dynamic between you and this person and how the two of you relate, and definitely a shift in a family dynamic. So family is really important here. And I don't feel that it's negative within the family, but there's something here about maybe two children being affected, because I'm seeing these two dogs and two innocent people being affected in the situation. I do just want to cover this lady over here because, nudity. So that's Palo Santo. So there might be a need to also cleanse some space in the home and maybe cleanse some negativity within the home. Okay, so that's what I feel is really happening on a physical level. But there's also some sort of healing that is going on a physical level as well within the home dynamic. So I feel there might have even been conversations around the dynamic at home. And this could be either with you and this person, and you're together and you're in a solid relationship and you're looking at how you create that together. Or it could be that both of you come from units that have kind of separated, and now you are looking at your individual families and how to work that together. And I do feel that the person that you're dealing with is very up and down, as we can see with this Pentacles energy, and is really struggling to maybe even choose you. And I feel the sense around that it definitely does have to do with a trauma response. There may be a third party in the situation in terms of their ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, someone that's maybe a baby mama. Yes, so because there are strong family ties here, so that I do feel that children are also involved, and this is really being supported by the sun as well, because the sun's often the card of the inner child. So on a physical level, that's definitely what's happening, and big decisions, big life shifts. So either move, and then also really looking at how to move into a new direction with the family dynamic. And for some of you, that's an actual physical move. For others, I feel like there might be a finality and a closure around a previous relationship that had a strong family dynamic too. So like a divorce or an end of a long-term commitment. And now sort of the decision to decide, where are you going to move? Okay, what's also coming up in this connection with this person is there's a lot of compulsive kind of behavior. So someone being led by their patterns and habits, and also so I would say karmic, like there could be a karmic connection as well. There's definitely a soul contract between you and this person, whatever that is. But there are compulsions here. So I don't necessarily mean that there's addiction, but for some of you there might. But there's behaviors and ways of thinking that keep happening over and over and over again, and you fall into them quite unconsciously. Some of you are able to observe them and see yourself doing that, but you're still falling into that behavior. And I do feel the soul lesson for you around that is to become a lot more observant of your kind of decision making. But it's not just decision making, Spirit is saying to me. It's kind of how you adapt to situations. So there's a lesson here about being able to flow more with life and kind of not getting too stuck in perceptions. And the reason I say that is because we've got this still water here, and then we've got like this wavy water here. If you can see here in the Two of Swords, you see the water is actually quite still. And then over here, we've got this kind of rocky water. It's a lot more tumultuous. So there's something here about really needing to be a soul lesson in terms of the adaptability and being able to move with life and the shifts and the changes in life. And that feels like what's happening on a kind of higher level. In terms of also understanding that you cannot be, I feel for a lot of you, there might even be perfection issues that come up here, and people pleasing. So being a specific way, that's why family dynamics are so important, being a specific way for a group of people, having a lot of responsibility and needing to meet this perfection of that we see here with the sun, the achieving what everyone is kind of expecting you to achieve. This is really what I'm getting from this. And instead, Spirit is trying to really teach you that sometimes you've just got to let a ball drop and continue with what you need to continue with. That is a priority in the moment. And it's okay to sometimes let certain balls drop and to make a choice that is more important. And there's a strong needing to understand this. I'm also getting a sense of needs not being met and being in denial about that, like not being seen. And when it comes to being chosen, in you also not feeling chosen. And it has to also do more deeply with the family dynamic. But on a soul level, there's something about you needing to realize you are a child of the divine. You are a child of God. And through choosing yourself, even in times when you can't figure out what's happening, or there's rougher currents or things are shifting and changing, that doesn't mean that you have somehow, like, that you've been forgotten, that you're always supported. There's really something coming through around that there's lots of change going on, and Spirit is really supporting you through that change. But on a soul level, it's understanding that shifting and changing and instability, and not instability in a bad way. So that's why I don't really want to say instability. There's something about adaptability here. I feel that there's expectations on your side piled to where there's this idea of what safety is supposed to look like. And safety a lot of the time is just having our expectations met. And I feel that on a soul level, you're learning how to find safety and joy and feel supported by the universe and by God, and whatever God is for you, right? In spite of the ever-changing world. I mean, you're not going to ever escape challenges. You're not ever going to escape people who like you or dislike you. And the higher soul lesson of what's going on in this connection right now is for you to understand that. And because some needs I feel weren't met as a child and not being seen as a child, this trauma response comes up and keeps you kind of locked in indecision and also locked in this expectation of how things are supposed to be. Yes, that's what's coming through. Okay, I want to see your articles. We've got get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. That makes perfect sense given what's actually going on here. We spoke a lot about childhood and not being seen, and compulsion. So there might be a tendency to pick particular kind of partners based on you feeling something and feeling responsible for other people's emotions and other people's pain. And I feel your guides and spirit is really trying to get you into a space where you connect with something that feels rooted, strong, stable. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Then we've got messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Okay, so I spoke earlier about people pleasing. And even if you look at this card here, you see this person, they don't really have a face. I know we're talking about Sirius energy and the hands are open. I'm not very familiar with this deck, but I'm going to go with what I'm getting intuitively. And I'm feeling that in a dynamic, you have always kind of played the diplomat and always seen everybody else's side to things. And what's important in this dynamic is, yes, there's something about really understanding adaptability and shifting and changing, but not to lose yourself in that space. And the way to find balance and harmony, I feel very important, is to find those aspects of self. Remember what we spoke about earlier with these different colors here? And even if you look at this card here, there's this headspace, and then what's going on here in the torso, and then what's going on in the lower body. There's these different parts of self that form up this messenger or Sirius energy in the visual of this card. So there's something important to understand here about yourself and parts of yourself that need to be brought into greater alignment and acceptance. A lot of the time when we're empathic, it becomes almost habitual. Remember we spoke about a kind of compulsion to avoid our own feelings and be involved with everyone's feelings. Okay. So we've got Sphinx. I'm able to view things clearly. That's the third eye chakra. So I am able to view things clearly. A very deeply spiritual pile, because we're getting Sphinx here, we're getting Sirius energy here. So very strong beings and strong guides that you have with you. And I feel there's another message that's coming through that's kind of different to what I've already spoken about, which feels like a need to travel more to sacred lands and sacred sites, because I feel that there's information there for you on a soul level that wants to get unlocked. And if you've had that vision to do that, because we've definitely got third eye here, very psychic, intuitive, empathic gifts coming through, then you need to follow that. And remember, we were having a lot of angel numbers, which is telling me that your guides and your angels and your the whatever higher beings are there in your spiritual team are really drawing very close with you at this time. And there's some sort of deeper knowledge of your own gifts that wants to come through here. And I'm really feeling is a part of yourself. Remember those gifts that we spoke of that you've kind of been avoiding and running from, and might even be choosing relationships that enable you to avoid yourself. Wow. We were literally just talking about spiritual gifts, and we have the third eye chakra here, and we literally have the third eye chakra here, and we literally have get grounded here. And look at this messenger. So pile 2, you are our channelers, you are our psychics, our intuitives. There's definitely strong intuitive gifts here that want to be unlocked. And there might have been some trauma in your childhood around that, or you being in denial about being able to see that. But whatever this connection that you've had now, it's probably also put you through a deeper awakening and really allowing those gifts to come to light. But so that's there. Please let me know in the comment section if that resonates for you. But for those of you going like, I don't have psychic gifts, look, we all do on some sort of level. And if you're with this channel, I'm telling you, you're probably more sensitive than most, because I really called in with my channel very highly intuitive, those on a really spiritual path, those who are really deeply connected to their soul. There are certain things here that you are not seeing about yourself that are actually so simple to you. They are so natural to you that you haven't even recognized that they're gifts. So you're kind of in denial about that. And I feel Spirit is bringing through this message to really say to you, hey, see yourself clearly. Stop running away from yourself. Okay, what do we have here in terms of a channel message? Wow. Following the same pattern will get you the same results. Now, I want to tell you, I channeled these messages before I chose the cards. And I put these channeled messages in a pile, and then I picked one for each pile. I like folded them like they were here, so I wouldn't know which one was which. And I spoke about patterns. I spoke about compulsions. So let's get back to the channeled message. Following the same pattern will get you the same results. It is time for you to recognize how tied to and enmeshed with this story you have become. So that's the thing around being this empath, and you feeling other people's emotions, maybe even mistaking theirs for your stuff, but also avoiding your stuff through rather feeling other people's things than yours. It is keeping you in a spiral, a washing machine of confusion. So there's a need to clear energy here. Now it is time to stop, separate your laundry, and really look at which outfit or clothes you'd like to wear and what really doesn't fit anymore. So what's happening here, pile 2, is a real strong call for you to start looking at the parts of yourself that you've denied, that you haven't wanted to see. Here we see all this kind of confusion here, this washing machine kind of energy, for you to decide for yourself, is this actually true when someone said I am super weird and that's not good enough because I'm empathic? Or was that just their trauma response to something that is different? And how have you interacted with a story or a narrative like that? What within yourself are you avoiding because of what someone else has said? And by choosing the same kind of habitual behavior, the same kind of avoidance of self, where is that getting you? Okay? There's something that wants to be revealed here, strong gifts, a strong spiritual team that's trying to guide you out of the same pattern here. Don't run away. Notice what is happening now for you is likely a response to some denial of the self when you were younger, could even have been in a past life. I hope that helps and resonates with you. That's what you need to know right now, pile 2. If that did, please do remember to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to connect with me for some healing or a reading too, check out the description box. It's been an honor reading for you today. I send you all my love, and I'll see you in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading if you chose this very sensitive, very feminine. I mean, just look at her eyes. Just look at her eyes. Unicorn who is she's standing up on her hind legs. Yeah. This is for you. So I'm going to be doing channeled messages for you as well as oracle cards, and we'll look at your tarot, and we'll first look at what's happening. So we'll look at what's happening in the spiritual level and in the physical realm, and it might point to a relationship, very likely, or a other situation in your life. And we're looking at what you most need to know right now. So when I look at this unicorn, the thing that stands out for me is a need to connect with your own purity and your innocence. And unicorns are very much about that kind of energy, and very strong inner child connection here, more than the other two piles. So there's something about the innocence, the beauty, and the purity of you as a child, and you bringing a lot more of that energy into where you are right now. I do feel that this unicorn is also is very beautiful. It's just, she's like strikingly beautiful right now. And there's something really lovely about your appearance at the moment. I feel like you are wanting to focus more on your health and your body and how you feel in your body and how you feel about yourself. And there may have been issues around that have been coming up for you, or deeper understanding of that as well. I do feel you might have also just come out of a period where you've learned something about you and your body and your relationship to your body. And for some of you, there's also some kind of body modification going on, whether that's exercising, whether that's going for some sort of surgery. But there's definitely a sense around you really connecting to your body in this lifetime and what that says about you, and understanding the importance of also caring for your body, and you really wanting to bring that into the space. And I also feel that through that you've had to defend your decisions. I feel some people have maybe come up and been quite judgmental about what it is that you're doing, and some of it is even jealousy, but you've really handled it with grace. I'm really hearing that from your guides, that you've handled it with grace. Okay, I'm going to put your oracles and your channeled message to the side, and let's take a look at the tarot and see what you most need to know right now. Pile 3, what do you most need to know right now? Pile 3, what is pile 3 most? Ooh, that one jumped out. We've got Queen of Cups. Kind of speaks to this soft, beautiful, feminine energy. Out of all of the queens, I would say the Queen of Cups is definitely the most feminine, in the sense of softness, if we were to put it that. I don't want to say that the other queens are not feminine, because they totally are. It's just a different expression of femininity. But definitely softness, purity, innocence. Okay. Then we've got, wow, literally talking about other queens. So this is definitely about how are you relating to this femininity, this beauty, the beauty of being a woman, you know, and what does it mean to be a woman? I think your friends at the moment are also probably incredibly important to you. Very strong friendship kind of connections going on. Yeah. And I do even feel that this could relate to either this is a romance between two women, and also, or it could also be a friendship. This is the higher aspect, though. These are the soul parts. But I am feeling that there's some distance between you and your friends, or if it's a woman that you're in love with, a woman who is away. Okay. On the physical level, let us see what is going on. feel like I've kind of switched it around, but Spirit is saying, no, I just need to keep going. So my guides are saying, I just need to keep going with what I'm seeing here. Ooh, sorry about that. There's a lot about moving that's coming through. Okay, so what I'm feeling is that there's two parties to the situation. It's either two friends or it's a romantic relationship between two women. Okay, and this could be what's happening around you, but we're going to go a little bit deeper into that. So the on the physical level, there's some sort of wanting to bring in more for the self. And what I mean by that is it feels kind of like money related, because we've got Four of Pentacles here, but I do want to say there's two such scenarios that Spirit wants me to address, and they're such like opposite scenarios, but I'm going to just go with it. So one is wanting to, is like looking ahead and planning about like wanting to bring more money into your space and bring more money into your kind of environment. And there might even be some like money concerns and wanting to find a way, wanting to find a way to establish yourself where you feel a lot more stable in just stable financially. And there's guidance that you're asking for, but you don't really know how to approach bringing in exactly what you want. I feel like what you do for work is kind of different to what most people would do. I feel like you exist out of the kind of societal's normal kind of idea of a normal job. And the reason I say that is because we just look at the landscape here at the back, and we've got these ships in the water, but then we've got these mountains at the back, and then we have these mountains and the Fool being very free. And then when we look here, we've got this kind of city atmosphere. And because we've got Six of Swords energy, I just feel like there's a movement away from doing the conventional. And that's why I also say I felt like there was kind of judgment around what it is that you want to do and the choices and decisions that you've made for yourself, but it's more out of jealousy. So I really strongly feel that there's a strong friendship for some of you regarding a woman who is really jealous of you and is showing herself as a friend, but there's also some sort of there's jealousy around one woman, but then there's another woman involved who's actually really supportive. So there's something around also understanding your friendships and the way that you get involved with people in your life and who you trust, and understanding that sometimes the people that are around you, they don't always even though they're jealous, they can admire you and be jealous at the same time. And I am getting this kind of sense. I'm feeling like there's a group of women. One is kind of supportive. The other is less supportive. The less supportive one is actually kind of jealous of your expression and how you are. And you have to recognize that this uniqueness that you hold is going to trigger people into withholding with you, and also even kind of blocking you. But not everybody's going to be that way. That shouldn't affect your, because you see we've got lots of yellow energy here, so I'm feeling like it's sitting in the solar plexus. That shouldn't affect your sense of power and who you are and how you show up in the world. And I feel that what's actually happening here is for you to move away from any ideas that you can't be artistic, sensitive, and different, and then be the businesswoman or have a career or have the financial abundance. There's something that really about understanding and embracing the multiplicity of your femininity and the different ways that it can show up. I feel like for you, the biggest way that you are going to create your I want to say your empire, funnily enough, but it's more than just that. It's like building your life and creating the life that you want is by using these different parts of yourself and taking what you know. I feel like you get a lot of kind of psychic messages, intuitive messages, kind of just downloads that come through for you. And this does happen. Queen of Cups is very intuitive, and to really learn how to ground them. And I don't think you don't know how to do that. I think you do know how to do that. And I feel that a big soul lesson that you're going through at the moment is working with those different energies and seeing how you can work with them. The Six of Swords here is, I just want to feel how this is relating in terms of what's happening on a higher plane. Yeah, it feels very strong, like to move away from kind of group dynamics in the way the group expects you to do something. I mean, the unicorn's very much about understanding your uniqueness, but on a soul level, it's not just about understanding that. It's like moving away from any perceptions around what that is supposed to look like, even in the way that you connect with your own intuition and your own understandings of the universe. That is, it's for you. It's for you, okay? And it's for you to decide how you want to connect and how you're being guided to connect. Whether that is with people in the physical realm or the way that you are receiving information intuitively, because I do feel that there's a lot of that coming through for you. Okay, then there's another relationship that's coming through, and this feels romantic, and one woman has moved away to the other, and now from the other there's some sort of distance between the two of you, and I feel you are more likely the person who is the artistic, intuitive, softer person, and the other woman is more grounded, kind of more, maybe a little bit more connected to her body, and there is a distance between the two of you. And one of you is in love with the other. Yes. I actually feel like both of you are. And it feels like a very deep kind of love. But there is some sort of holding, like in the heart chakra, that isn't allowing this connection to fully develop the way that it needs to. And I feel that it relates very strongly for both of you to your connections with your mothers, your respective mothers. And I feel that what Spirit is trying to release in this connection is you to not compare yourself. I feel like there might even be comparison to your mother in the way that you need to approach things and the way that you need to be. Spirit kind of wants to release that. And through both of you understanding that and releasing your individual kind of imprints from your respective mothers, that's actually going to enable the two of you to meet more. I want to draw a clarifier on this because it's such different. Okay. Yeah, so we've got Page of Wands. So that's giving me the sense of traveling and meeting each other and messages coming through, and definitely some sort of inner child stuff that was coming through that I spoke about. So very strong relation, like that I spoke about when I first connected with this unicorn. So really strong ideas of how you're supposed to be as women that was imprinted on you as a child. And there are different ways of expressing femininity, and it's important for you to find your own way. And I feel that because there maybe was some sort of judgment, harsh kind of mother, and not even all cases, but let's rather say like a withholding from the mother, that it's kind of made both of you, and this could be even for the people who are connecting with the other kind of situation of that it's not the love situation. Sure, there's a lot of stories coming through, but strong inner child connection to the mother, and how the mother has imprinted on you how to be as a woman. I do see that you are moving from that, but I'm hearing move in your own direction. Move in your own direction. Okay, let's look at your oracles and see what comes through around this. Okay. Play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Okay, well, there we go. I mean, we've got the Fool here. We've got Page of Wands, which is, we're talking about inner child. So there's definitely a need to connect with the inner child here, and finding that innocence again, finding that purity, that playfulness. We've got empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Interesting, right? Literally talking, we've got a woman here, and we've got this mirror. So just the sense of who you are and how you show up, and really strong influence from your mother coming through. So this is really for you to move away from any kind of imprints, any kind of ideas and patterning that came specifically from your mother in terms of how you relate not only to your own womanness and femininity, but to other women as well. And we've got the root chakra here, which is telling me it's definitely an ancestral kind of issue. So it's sitting in the root. So your affirmation is, I am safe on this earthly plane, supported by universal divine energy. So you have a place, the way that you are, your uniqueness is welcomed, it's wanted. You have space. You may want to screenshot this here. It is literally number 1. This card is number 1 in this deck. So that's emphasizing for me that you are incredibly unique. You're meant to be unique. You're meant to move away from, and that's part of your soul lesson, meant to move away from what everybody else does, from the convention. You are here to show other ways of being, other ways of harnessing the same kind of energies in a different way. That's why I said the way that you connect with people, the way that you do your art, the way that you make money, the way that you interact with spirit, the way that you interact with others. You are meant to bring your way of doing things here. You're meant to highlight uniqueness. That's a massive part of your journey. Here again, wow, look at that. Literally spoke about 1-1. Yep. You are meant to be unique, strengthening bonds. This is Ace of Pentacles. So there's something about seeding who you are here. You see, and she's wearing this beautiful orange dress that's telling me there's some sort of healing in the sacral chakra that needs to happen. So that's with the inner child, right? You see how she's walking down this beautiful pathway of trees. So you need to walk your path. There's a lot of turning your back here. You see, this person's back is turned. This person's back is turned. Her back is turned. So the sense that I'm getting is it's okay for you to turn your back on people who have left you, people who've abandoned you. It's also okay to keep out those that are not in support of what you are bringing and want you to bring. You are allowed to have that. You are allowed to defend and protect your uniqueness, pile 3. Okay, so let's look at your wow, what did I say? These channeled messages are blowing my mind, because I literally did the channeled messages a few hours before I even chose the oracles. And you see, I choose the tarot cards literally on, like, while I'm recording. And you see what I've got written there at the bottom? Very unique energy. So pile 3, you are meant to be different. Okay, so I've got Merry Christmas here. And when I connected with this channeled message. What I want to say was there was a very specific guide that came through. And the way they showed the guide to me was the people who are in this group, you do feel like you come from, your energy is from a very different vibration, very different kind of planet even, and may have guides that are not your very traditional kind of guides. That's what it felt like. You're connecting with different frequencies than other people. And I feel like you're coming to seed different frequencies on the planet. And what's important to understand here with the root, you've got to be embodied in your weakness. I don't know why I said embodied in your weakness. Maybe there's right now you're living too much of your weakness and rather not seeing that your uniqueness is not weakness. You have to be embodied and present with yourself and your personness here in order to bring in that beautiful energy that is just naturally yours. There's really needing to understand your place here and that you have place. The mere fact that you're on the planet means that you have place here. So I usually say Merry Christmas when something takes exceptionally long, and that was the first thing that came through, something that you have to wait for, or patience. So I feel that there's an impatience with the self with this group and wanting to get somewhere where you're not yet. Okay, so patience is not an act, but a state of mind with which you must approach this. Just remember I said feels, love related, dark hair, light skin. So we have dark hair there, we have light skin there. So definitely two people involved here. No more energy vampires. Choose based on vibration. So whoever you're choosing to love, choose them based on vibration. Take time to know what this feels like. So your guides came through with very different kind of channeled messages to the other two piles, which I thought was interesting. I wrote differently, very simple, basic messages, and that's what's come through for you, pile 3. I'm going to leave it exactly like that. And if you enjoyed this reading with me today, please do like and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, then do check out the description box. I would be happy and super excited to read with you. Do also check out my other offerings. I do mentorship, psychic mentorship, and I also do energy healing. Would love to work with you. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in your next reading, pile 3. Bye. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading if you chose this lovely unicorn over here. So when I connect with this unicorn, before I go into it, I just want to tell you, I'm going to look at this unicorn, see what this unicorn energy wants to say to you. And then we've got oracles, and then I do have a channeled message underneath here. I don't know what that is. And then I'll be looking at your tarot, and we'll be looking at what's happening on a soul level and then what's happening in the physical. Okay, so I'm feeling like there's a lot going on right now. Your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown, and your heart. So a lot of upper chakra exploration is going on. And I do feel that there is a little bit of avoidance in terms of being present to what is happening in your life. So this unicorn is kind of showing me that there's some sort of escapism that's going on. But I don't feel that it is bad. It feels very necessary to your journey, and it's actually going to help you in the long run really discover who you are. But Spirit is saying that there is a need to remain aware of the facts that you're escaping at the moment. So it's a necessary exploration, but there needs to be an awareness around it. That's the first message that comes through. Then for others of you, there's a need to explore a lot more in the imagination. Sorry about that. So there's a need to explore more in the imagination. There's been almost too much focus on work, like the physical realm kind of space, and there needs to be some fun injected into your space and a remembrance of why you're doing the work that you're doing. Because I do feel the people that have chosen this pile, you are, like, you see all these little white lines here. I do feel like you're actually really very strongly walking your path, but there needs to be like a remembrance of why you're walking the specific path again, and that there needs to be joy walking that path. Okay, so let's see what is happening. And there's a strong sense of needing to explore creatively, not only from a physical way, but like your dreams, like using your dreams as a creative exploration, and to envision your dreams and believe that there's possibility and truth for them, like to breathe them into being. That's okay. We've got the Hierophants. We got a card that just jumped. Okay. We've got 6 of Cups. Okay, what else? We've got Ace of Pentacles. Wow. I feel you may be drawn to pile 3 as well. If that resonates when I say that, do please go and check it out. Okay, then we've got 5 of Wands. Okay, we've got 7 of Wands. And we've got one final card about what's happening in the physical. Judgment. Okay, so what I'm getting with this is that you are really being called. So I don't feel that this is a relationship space. I do feel that this is strongly related to work. So there's a lot of people that want you to do things for them in your workspace. And they want you to do things in the way that you want them to do things, right? There's a lot of responsibility that I feel that has actually been given to you, and a lot of people that want your attention in the work environment. I also feel you work in a very competitive environment, and that there's a lot of people around you. I do feel that you may actually be some sort of manager, some sort of teacher, some sort of person in authority as well. Because I'm just looking at the Hierophant here and the 5 of Wands. And that there's a lot of like needing of your attention, and people wanting you to make decisions in a particular way. But also I do feel what's happening in the work environment is that there's a pull on your energy in a particular kind of direction. So it's almost like subtle kind of I want to say energy games that are happening where people are not necessarily wanting to take responsibility for themselves, and kind of wanting you to resolve and fight their battles for them and make decisions for them. I do feel like often you may be having to call people out. People are seeing you as the savior. That's why I'm seeing, I know this is usually Raphael, I think, in here, but there's some sort of you needing to come and like solve other people's problems. And there's a lot of that's happening. And it seems like this is an issue that has gone on for a really, really long time. And it's a space that you find yourself in quite a bit. You are an excellent problem solver. You do have a strong sense of judgment. And yes, you can do a lot and manage a lot. But I do feel that it's a bit much at this point, where you're having to go face challenge after challenge after challenge and almost not getting exactly what you want out of a situation. And I feel that there might have even been plans that you had around the way that you want to move in terms of your work, and they didn't go, you were stopped. So it didn't get to move the way that you wanted it to move. And I'm feeling this happened for a very specific reason, and you had to actually make a decision around how you were going to approach that. And I feel that there might be, because we had confusion and maybe escapism come up here, is that you might be questioning whether you made the right decision. And I just want to say that the decision you made was also being supported by the divine, definitely, and is actually coming in to show a new opportunity. And I'm seeing that here with this Six of Cups coming in with an opportunity, Ace of Pentacles coming in with an opportunity, and even here with the symbolism of the angel blowing the trumpet, there's a different opportunity. So whatever opportunity you were expecting at work, something else is better, and the path that you are going to be redirected on, that is better. So you kind of in this needing to refine the joy of what you do, and it kind of being in the upper realms and having to revision your dreams, that's necessary. It's necessary to get you in alignment and get on the right path. That's what I feel is totally going on here. Okay, so on a soul level, you are actually coming through as a teacher to many. Okay, I feel on a soul level, your soul has decided to come through as someone who is bringing reminders of gifts of the soul to others, like gifts that other people already know exist within themselves. Your job as a soul, on a soul level, that's what's happening. But for you as well, there's some sort of deeper knowledge, deeper study, higher lessons that your soul wants to learn through, like, it's almost like your soul has agreed that is actually really, really, really what I want to do. I also feel there is a soul connection that's going to come through with someone, and this is why I think Spirit is also intervening around this work situation, where you and this person are meant to be in a sacred union. And I say that because the unicorn is a lot about sacred union. And when I'm seeing these flowers and the colors of these flowers, they look quite bridal. And these flowers over here, again, are giving me just the sense of a union that is going to be gifted you. I even feel that you might have actually been so focused on your work because you haven't been given this kind of union. But I do feel that that's going to happen. And I feel Source, God is the universe is not that I think the universe and God are the same, just so that you know that. But I feel like you're being redirected for that very specific reason. Anyway, on a soul level, what I was also trying to say is I feel this new connection that's going to come through is going to unlock deeper lessons about love. It's not human lessons about love. Your soul is not here to just learn about love in a human way. It's to learn about the interconnectedness of all of us. And what's happening in your workspace is also understanding that interconnectedness and how your decision affects others and how this person's decision affects that person's decision. And there's a needing to see this kind of pattern and interrelationship. And out of that is where the gold comes out. Out of that is where the real understanding and the real enlightenment comes out. Because there's multiple messages that have just come through there. But yes, I feel that is what I need to say on that. Okay, let's look at your oracles and let's see what's coming through. Okay, we've got leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Okay, so we spoke a lot about this realignment of path. So we've got Ace of Pentacles here, we've got Judgment here. So there's some sort of decision that you had to make. You made the right decision. The universe is there and in support of what it is that you're going to do. So this energy that I spoke about earlier, about imagining your dreams and playing a little bit more with your dreams and going with your dreams instead, going with what you really want to create, go for it. Okay, and then we've got Earth School. Ha, 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 ha. What was I talking about? Teaching. And that you're coming to bring lessons for others. Your situation might even relate to studying deeper spiritually as well, but maybe not even just spiritually. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. So I feel that your soul very much is here to learn. And will probably have a lot more lessons than your average person. What I also want to point out here is, you see how this person's always flying? I do feel that you astral travel. And you may have been doing this since you were a child. And remember, I spoke about dreams. I'm just getting the sense that there's a very intense exploration in your dreams. And something about exploring more in your dreams and using your dreams almost as a manifestation tool, but also as a deeper understanding tool. And there's some sort of being able to travel in between realms here and gather information that you can bring back here onto the earthly plane. Okay, your yoga pose is, I'm able to tap into the healing energy that surrounds me. You know what? I cannot joke with this, right? Okay, because I was literally saying that you have the ability to go into different realms and bring it here. And then the next thing we have is able to tap into the healing energy that surrounds me. So there's a needing to understand the energy and working with the energy, right? Okay, so here we go. The throat chakra heart pose. I don't know why I'm saying heart pose. It's the throat chakra. It's a yoga pose. And you sit on a mat in a chair. Okay, you're going to read that. You can... So you're tapping against your breastbone. This is interesting that they have it as the throat chakra, because you are working on your heart chakra. That's why I said heart pose. So there's something here about tapping deeper into those dreams and those gifts that sit in the heart. And your throat is about your expression of self. So finding those deeper soul expressions in your work. That's what you're here to do. Wow. Come on. Crown chakra, okay? We're talking about the soul here. We're talking about 7. 7. Very, very spiritual number. We're talking about Earth School. So definitely someone, you are definitely someone who's coming here, bringing in higher knowledge, wanting to understand deeper spiritual knowledge. And what's happening in your workspace is to enable more and more and more of that, and enable you to bring that into the space. I feel like you're quite a grounded person, and I feel like you're on your path, and I feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I just feel like you need to trust to go deeper with these dreams and visions that you have for yourself, pile 4. Really. And the divine is supporting you. You're on your path. Oh, channeled message. My goodness. I am blown away by these channeled messages, because they just resonate for each and every single pile that I've done a reading for. Let's go for it. There is no more need for you to question what you know in your heart. What did we speak about here? I said a heart pose. It has spoken to you countless times, telling you what you truly need to explore. Ooh. You may not understand it, but this is not the point of the language of the heart. So what you feel in your heart and what you feel you should do in your heart, it might not make sense to your mind, but that's not the point of the heart. That's not the language of the heart. The language of the heart is not sense making. That's your mind that does that. Your heart, it is speaking to your beingness and the greater aspect of yourself. Crown chakra, right? This exploration in your dreams, these higher soul lessons. and the greater aspect of yourself, which is here to elevate your experience. And this is why you must follow its invitation. So the heart wants to bring more of the soul into reality. And this is what I'm feeling here, is if I look at all of this, you, pile 4, probably out of all of the piles, are in the space where you are bringing more of your soul down here to the earth and living more from a soul space. And you're being guided more and more to go into that heart space and follow the yearnings of your heart. Leap, you go first, the universe will catch you, rather than whether something always makes sense. It's not supposed to make sense because there's supposed to be an unveiling in it, and there's a gift in that. So I feel people in this pile have worked through a lot of their karma, have worked through their trauma, their past stuff, and now they're living in the freshness of the now, the newness of the now, of the unknown. And that's really living in guidance, in the guidance of the divine, with the divine, in the present, right? On the precipice, with the unfolding of consciousness, of life as it evolves, instead of the same thing over and over and over again. So trust these yearnings of the heart, pile 4. What a beautiful message. What a beautiful reading. I do hope you enjoyed this, pile 4. Let me know in the comment section how this resonates for you. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, do check out the description box. I'd be so happy to read for you. I also do psychic mentorship and also energy healing, so happy to work with you in those spaces as well. And I'll see you in your next reading, pile 4. Bye.